So hurled over means thrown with great force, as force was applied from behind, and that flying machine started to fall at a great speed. Let me remind you, children, they were on the hilly area, and when this force came, it started to that flying machine started to move with in a speed to the down. It was a lake. Okay, so Uncle Prasad let out a shriek and pulled the rod towards him. The plane straightened up, and in a second a strong gust of wind caught hold of it, and it saw up into the air. Sorry, it is not saw, it is sailed. Okay, so now Uncle Prasad was quite frightened. Now he got quite frightened, and as he was not able to think what he should do next, he just what he did was he pulled the rod towards him. So the plane got little bit straightened up, but in a second again it caught hold with a strong gust of wind. That is, a strong force of wind came and it sailed up into the air. Sailed up into the air means it moved up as the air was flowing. Now shouted Ravi, hurrah, hurrah, shouted the boys. So now Ravi and the other his friends, they were very much happy. Ravi was happy, of course, because it was his flying machine and it was his invention, isn't it? We could name it as invention, because such a small boy like Ravi, he had invented such a thing, and all of a sudden when it started to fly, that small boy got very happy. So well done, shouted all the people looking on. Now what the other people, what they're seeing is that flying machine is flying properly, but it is not what Uncle Prasad was feeling. Okay, so Uncle Prasad had that actual feeling that what is going to happen the next, but the people who were on the ground area, who were looking up, they said, oh, very well done, such a flying machine. So Uncle Prasad did not shout. His face was white with fear. The plane was going higher and higher. Soon Ravi and his friends were small dots on the hill. Below him, he could see the town and the river and the road leaning away towards the city. See, children, now what happened? Uncle Prasad did not shout, because Uncle Prasad was so much frightened that not even a word came out of his mouth. So his face was white with fear, like whenever you do some mischief, no, and all of a sudden your mother get hold of you, then what the reaction what comes to your face, you're like all pale with fear, either you are white with fear. So same situation was with Uncle Prasad. Now what happened, as Uncle Prasad was pulling the rod, so the plane was going higher and higher. The plane was flying very much higher, and a situation came that Ravi and his friends were appearing as dots. Dots in the sense, because see, whenever you're at a very height, like if you're traveling through flights, or so when you see it down, people and things, everything will appear like dot. Okay, so this is what they're saying. To Uncle Prasad, people were appearing like small dots. Now he could see the river and road leaning away towards the whole scenery. You can see when you are at a height, when even if when you are traveling with through flights and all, when you look down, so you can see a proper scenery of the whole city. Okay, so okay, now we'll move on to next page. Okay, he pushed he pushed a loop of string down and the plane started to turn. Now, what Uncle Prasad did, he pushed a loop of string down and the plane started to turn. He pushed the other loop down and the plane started to turn the other way. Now, what happened? As he had instructed, Uncle Prasad pulled one down and another string down, so it started to turn, that flying machine started to turn here and there. So Uncle Prasad got little bit okay, so the strings works well, said Uncle Prasad out loud, and I am becoming quite a good pilot. Now what Uncle Prasad was thinking, now anyhow when he got little bit stable in that flying machine, so he thought, okay, now I'm a good pilot, might be I'm able to operate this flying machine, so he is little bit stable now. Now, Uncle Prasad pushed down his left foot again, but nothing happened. He looked down and noticed that the string had broken. Now, what to do? Oh my goodness, he said to himself, now what shall I do? Now, Uncle Prasad did a little mistake. He had pulled the string left and right. Instead of that string, if he would have pulled that rod left and right, it would have moved to the correct direction. Now when, see, string is just a small thing, no, if you just turn it here and there, or if you push it to your, it will break, of course. So same thing happened with Uncle Prasad also. So afterwards only he realized that he had pulled that string and that string got broken.